Well, hello, and aloha, y'all. This is Miss Chantel Boucher here, and I am here with one of our title sponsors of our June event coming up, Stephanie Stowers. Brr, 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 brr.
Hello, hello, hello.
Did you like that intro?
I
Just
did.
great. It's so lovely.
Thanks.
So I wanted to have her hop on, and some of you have seen her on here before because she was actually one of the sponsors of our very first event we ever had. Huh. That was at
Yes, I was.
that was at the
That was
yard.
exciting. Yeah. So I wanted to up it a little bit this time.
Yeah, she's upping it, folks. And what she means by that is she was a partner sponsor. And so now for this upcoming event, she is a title sponsor, one of the big dogs, if you will. And I it's gonna be a fun one because she was actually the one who requested, hey, you need to do something in Allen/Fairview. And I was like, you're right. I do really do. And so as you guys know, we didn't have an event in May, or we're not having one in May because it lands on Memorial Day. So, in observance of that, we're being respectful and gonna be doing June 24th. So, Stephanie, will you start off by reminding people who have met you before and or introducing yourself to the new people a little bit about you, what you do, what services?
Absolutely. So my name is Stephanie Sowers. I am a hairdresser. I have a suite in Fairview, which is right near Allen, and I specialize in custom color transformations and extensions. So I'm really big about giving all of my guests that come in my chair the ability to feel beautiful. We see your beauty, but sometimes it's hard to see your own beauty, and that's something that I really strive to do in my chair.
I always feel great after. Just so you guys know, she also does my hair, which you can't tell because as you know, I wear hats all the time. Why? Because I'm busy. But but when my hair is done, it's amazing. And there's extensions.
Thanks.
Okay. Don't judge me. You can tell. Here's the thing about Stephanie. When she puts the extensions in your hair, and I don't know the difference between extensions. I've honestly never had them until I went to you. But I have seen some friends of mine, I will not name names specifically or anything like that, where it's very obvious they have extensions.
Mhm.
Can you like share with us why it looks so natural with whatever style it is that your technique, I should say, that you're
Yeah. So the biggest thing with extensions is you obviously have to pick something that's going to be right for the hair type. So if you're someone that has very, very fine hair, obviously big, bulky weft extensions might not be best. We have to probably alter them and tailor them to be to your hair type. I think that there's always this misconception that one type of hair fits all, and you really want to customize it. So
Mhm.
like for you, you have a little bit thicker hair. So instead of having just one thing of extensions, you need more to balance out for the thickness. So it's not a like extensions are wonderful because it gives us that instant gratification that we really want. But
Yes.
having it blended and no one being able to tell is huge for me.
Yes.
You want to make sure that people are like, oh, well, your hair looks incredible, looks so much thicker. It's like, oh, thanks. It's
Thank
not a like, oh yeah, girl, I've got extensions in it. I don't have to worry about putting my hair up. So it's just making sure that you have the right extension that's for your hair type. And for me, we want blended. We don't want to be able to see a piece of tape
yeah,
from across the way when you have your hair up. Or if you're a person who wears your hair in hats like you do a lot, obviously you don't want something that has to be kept down.
right.
So it's just keeping it custom and keeping it for your hair type that makes it what it is. It makes it wonderful.
Yes. And what different styles of hair extensions do you offer to people, or like what are the techniques, or what is it called? I'm really
So I
go there and
personally,
she just does it and I'm like, great, that looks cool. All right, see you later.
so I offer different types. There's obviously tape ins, which is a piece of, extension of hair that has a weft, and that's taped into your hair. Those last about 6 to 8 weeks. Then you have the fusion extensions, which I like to use those more is to fill in sparse areas around the face or sparse areas or adding a bit of color instead of doing an all over head. They can cause damage sometimes, but they do last much longer. They can last up to 12 weeks. They can even last more than that if you take good care. The type that you have and the type that I have are invisible beaded rows. So that is when you have a full weft of hair and it's applied around the head, the circumference of the head with beads in between. So you're able to flip it up and be able to put your hair up without it pulling on anything. I feel that it's the least damaging and it's the one that I predominantly do the most often in my business just
Mm-hmm.
because it looks the best. It really gives you the length, it gives you the fullness, and it gives you just what the desired look that you want. And that's what we all want, to look like we have this thick, beautiful, healthy hair, and extensions really do help with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then when is the appropriate time for somebody to use a halo?
Yeah, so I do like halos. Halos are great if you're someone who likes to just have that look
Mm.
without the upkeep. So you literally just take that thing in and out. A lot of times my extension clients that start with a lot of wefts, we normally work our way down from like 2 rows to 1 row to maybe a halo. So they still have that thickness, but they don't have the time constraints or the maintenance of actually having to go in every 6 to 8 weeks and have everything moved up. They just pull it out, hang it up in their bathroom, and that's it. And they pop it back in.
Gotcha. And then, okay, so let's talk about hair coloring right now too as
Mhm.
well, because I noticed that you have it's a specialty kind of hair coloring. You just don't just do like regular hair coloring. I don't know what that means, but what 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 is it called? What do you do? That type of
So
hair coloring. What is it?
so I do custom colors. So like I said earlier, that no one color is the same
Okay.
for every person. You have to customize it. So on my, I have like custom blondes, custom brunettes, custom redheads,
So
and
does that
custom
mean that,
vivids.
not to cut you off, but does that mean that you
Yeah.
like will mix colors together to make something? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
so it's yeah, so I really like to customize it for the person.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who is very low maintenance, but they really love to have a bright blonde, obviously you're not going to do your extensions all the way up to your root. You're going to have to do different techniques that are going to keep it looking as natural for as long as possible. So when people come in, I always do that interview. What's your time like? What's your mornings like? Do you have time to do your hair? Do you not have time to do your hair? So
Mhm.
it's just it's catered to the specific person and the specific hair type, and that's what I specialize in.
Gotcha. And I noticed, I think the whole blonde hair thing is kind of like, I'm always seeing people like almost not debate about it online, but are so like, they have a lot of horror stories actually about going to hairdressers for blondes.
It, abs-
Why is it such a thing? Is it just really hard to do?
it is hard, and also a lot of times you have to make sure you have realistic expectations for your hair, and that's something that a stylist needs to make sure that they tell their guests that you've been doing box black dye. You are not going to be blonde today. You might be orange, but you're not going to be blonde. And for me, the biggest thing for me is the integrity of the hair. So
Yeah.
I understand that we all want to have our dream color, but you have to kind of decide, do we want to have dream color or do we still want to have healthy hair? So I
Hmm.
try to always do it on small steps, taking multiple. Yes, it takes time, but there's nothing more beautiful than healthy hair.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Doesn't matter the color,
You
there's
just
just
gotta be
nothing better than
patient,
beauty.
is what you're saying. People just gotta be patient with the
Absolutely.
process because the minute they try to go too extreme in a short amount of time, things go wrong.
Absolutely. And it's really big about having the conversation. And there are actually some times that a person will have unrealistic expectations, and it's the job of the stylist to say, I'm so sorry that we're just not going to be able to do this for you, or I'm just not the stylist for you. But
Hmm.
that's why people have the horror stories,
Yep.
because they want it done. They like, I want to be blonde in one sitting. And you do
Yep.
have some people who are able to do it themselves, but that is definitely the exception. It is
Yep.
not the rule.
Yes.
And
Yes.
more times, that's why referrals are so important, and going to people that you know and having discussions. And I do a lot of color consultations where
Yeah.
people that want to do these big color corrections, they come
Yeah.
in and we actually have a conversation.
Yes.
And communication is always the most important.
So do you feel like it's best for people to come in and get a consult from you? And like, what is the process for that? If they kind of know what they want, are you able to like identify by them sending you pictures and taking a look at it? Or should they be coming in and being like, what do I do? What do you suggest?
Ideally pictures, they help, yes, but ideally coming in for consultations is always better. It is a time limit and it's hard because a lot of times you can't come in back and forth, and my schedule is busy, everybody else's schedule is busy.
Sure. Yeah.
But I do have a few that have started with me by coming in for color consultations, and
Okay.
then now they've been with me for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it kind of, but I also have some that I have one that's been with me for 7 years, and
Yeah.
she texted me a picture of her when I first moved to Texas, and she was like, fix my hair. And she is one of my closest friends, and she has been with me this whole time. And it again, it kind of depends on the person. Pictures are great, but I always make sure to say, yes, this sounds like a great idea. I can't wait to see you and to talk to you. And then when I see you for your appointment, we'll talk more things.
Yeah, because
Yes.
you have to also see like the texture of the hair or something. If it's like
Yeah.
in or you feel like they're getting hair loss or I don't know, whatever it is. Um, so let's go back to the whole event thing because
Hmm.
I know that just so you guys know too as well, Stephanie is also a client of mine. So my company, which is awesome, she's become a great friend of mine. Again, she does my hair too, but her website is done by us, or social media setups, like if you're looking at cover photos and things like that,
Hmm.
and some promotional things like her menus and all that, business cards. You're gonna see her at the event. She's gonna have banners and a table
I'm so excited.
we got all kinds of stuff that's happening. But then, like I said, she also participated in the first event. Can you just tell us what kind of results that you're getting? And you can be totally transparent in
Yeah.
general.
So
Like
I had,
service, what kind of results are you getting?
yeah, so I had a bunch of leads from the first event. And then due to scheduling conflicts, not everybody was able to, I wasn't able to meet with everyone and get everyone in my chair. But I did have about um two clients that definitely are mine and they will stay with me. And then I have a couple who just waiting on scheduling conflicts. And
Yes.
just whenever we can meet up,
So you guys
they're
have
gonna
to know,
come.
like Stephanie's very busy with clients. Like she's like booked nonstop, and she's not necessarily the easiest person to get into because what she does is very like high level work for people who are ready to do things with their hair the right way. You're not the most
Mhm.
expensive, you're not the cheapest, so to speak.
No.
You provide a luxury service. So anyway, I just wanted to say that
Yes.
and premise it with it is luxury services that she provides for
Yes,
get in.
absolutely. And it's also, I take my time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't like to put a time limit on it. I know a lot of people are like, well, how long is it going to take? And I always say in between 3 and 4 for an initial, three,
Yeah,
4 hours, just
yeah.
because you don't want to be rushed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but if it was, I know when I get my hair done, I
Mhm.
hate being rushed. I want to spend my time in the chair. And now if it's a different circumstance and it's like, hey girl, I've got 2 hours, can you get
Yeah.
me out? That's
Yeah.
a very, and again, there are techniques and there are things that I can do to plan accordingly. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when those conversations happen. I do have a client who she literally is in and out of my chair in 45 minutes, fully done with color because we've just worked together. We have a system and we know how to do it.
Yeah, you're familiar
But
with her already and her hair.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do think that because of the event, I was able to kind of, when I was talking to people and continue to talk to people, they are like, oh, that actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to spend your time with me? Yes, I want to spend my time with you. I want to take my time. I want to analyze your hair. I
Yeah.
want to get to know you. I want to hear your stories because I was telling one of my friends who I do her hair, and I was like, girl, you don't see me unless you come to the suite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're having like my luxury service, you're having breakfast and lunch with a friend
Mm-hmm.
and getting your hair done and talking tea and whatever, just
And
get
good music. We're always rocking out good
absolutely,
music here.
absolutely.
And then so as far as like your website, social media
Hmm.
stuff and all that, can you talk a little bit about that? Just to process the service, the if you do you like our service? Do you like what we
Oh,
do?
well, yeah. I
Do
mean,
we have a good
my
turn
gosh.
on? Like do we are you getting results?
So
Are people messaging you in Facebook or
yes, I'm definitely getting messages. And I will say that the website is more than I ever thought I would ever have. It's just so cool. And in like the having the ability to run my business and do it the way I wanted to do it and to do my services the way they are and have someone working with someone who can help me do that. And it was a way for me to get my social media following to follow me into the real world, so to
yeah.
speak. So I have had a couple people from TikTok that found the website
Mm-hmm.
and then contacted me. And I have one that she lives about an hour and a half south.
Mm-hmm.
And it's again just trying to get her on a Saturday, but she was able to look at my services because on my social medias, on especially my TikTok,
Yeah.
they don't know.
And
They
how
don't
many
know the
followers do you
services.
have on TikTok right now currently?
Think I'm like in between like 104.8, I want to say, or 105. It's 105,000 followers
105,000.
as of right now.
Oh, not
Yeah,
100.
it's pretty good. It's been
Okay.
it's been pretty good. And I
It's
mean, it's now
growing.
just
Good.
mostly Hmm?
I said it's going good.
It's going great. Yes, absolutely.
And so her site is cool, by the way, and it's going to be here below. It's going to be on there already, stephaniestowers.com. But it was one of the fun projects for me too, as well. I really like to work with creative people because we can get a little funky with stuff and all that.
Hmm.
Like there's pages on there with video in the background with like green smoke coming up, and
Yes, I love that stuff.
it's pretty. It's, but she's like, "This is great." That's how
I
much
love this stuff. This is great.
fun, cool stuff on here. I like it. And she's so funny because also I think um what's cool and unique is like I have like a good sense like when I know you well enough or like we have enough conversation, I'm like, I know what you're gonna like. She makes like zero changes to things when we make stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
love
kidding.
all of it. I'm so easy.
Like I was like, first of all, you're one of the easiest clients that I've ever had in my whole life. Granted, like it's artsy stuff and that's how we thrive, we're all about the branding thing and all that.
Mhm.
But I,
But
I'm
it's also having someone who knows me.
it's very true. So sorry about we have just a little cut in the clip real quick because
Mhm.
technology and somebody was frozen like a statue over there on the other side. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about, yes, her website, you need to go visit it, stephaniestowers.com,
Mhm.
because it's fun and she's got great photos. You can see the before and after
I,
pictures of people's hair.
it's a great website, and it's been like so wonderful because I have like again like you're one of my closest friends, so it's like I know that any like you said earlier, she has no changes. It's because I know that you know me, and I know that it's going to be beautiful, and I know it's going to be everything that I want, and it has always been that way.
Yeah.
So that's been the greatest gift. Is just I'm like I'm not nervous. I
And
know, I'm
I
good.
have to say though, your business cards are one of my favorites that we've done too as well. And I know that when you guys go to the event on June 24th and she's gonna be there, she's gonna have her business cards and stuff with her, so you guys could check that out too as well. But her stuff is really cute, and I'm excited.
Hmm.
And we have a whole live jazz band. We have a DJ in another room. We've got giveaways. We've got raffles. It's gonna be fun, you guys, and definitely not something that y'all are gonna want to miss. And the capacity to hold more people is there. I'm not gonna say how many, but it's much more than our usual. And we sell out every event so far at 100 people. Because most of the event spaces can't hold more than that. But on this one, this is a much bigger event space, and so I'm super excited about it. And so everybody get their tickets. You can meet Stephanie in person and ask her questions. And she's going to have a table there and some stuff to display. And she always
Yep.
has amazing prizes, you guys. Like her
Yes.
raffles are bomb, super bomb. So you're not going to want to miss it. And Steph, is there anything else you'd like to say to the people?
No, I'm just super excited. I cannot wait to see everybody. I'm so excited about the next event.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited in Allen. So it's right near where I am.
Yes.
I just cannot wait.
Yes, and it's at Profound Foods in
Mhm.
Fairview, and it's kind of across from Gloria's restaurant if you're familiar with Gloria's
Mhm.
in Fairview. So we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And
Thank you.
and you guys can get tickets to the event at believersinbusinesssocial.com. If you would like to learn more about our company, like with what we've done for Stephanie with her branding and social media and website stuff and all that kind of fun stuff, you can go to believersinbusinesscreative.com. All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.